With the Trustin and Jeff Show, episode number 15. I'm here with Jeff, as always.
What's up?
We're going to be talking about more on the Mike Tyson fight, a little bit about AI, and some of the, just some fight stuff.
Yep. So I'd like to start off with a passionate plea, okay, as a kid who grew up watching Mike Tyson slay people, slay some of the greatest. I would love to see Tyson come in and knock out Jake Paul. If this is not a rigged fight, I don't see how this don't happen. Even if Mike Tyson's 50% of the fighter he once was, I would say he could knock out Jake Paul. He's walked through greats. I got a compassionate plea. Mike, if you watch this, you got to knock this kid out. There's no way I will ever believe this was a legit fight unless I see a knockout by Tyson on Paul. If it goes the distance, I'll think this was a payoff. I think many people will think it was a payoff in a scripted fight if they don't see a knockout. So, and not to mention, did you see what Jake said about Cus?
Yeah, because their birthday's on the same day.
Yeah, he tried to compare himself to Cus D'Amato. I mean, if you don't do it for all the fans who watched their dad, spend $50 of hard-earned money for a 30-second fight, which it was well worth it. It was well worth every fight I seen that was like that was well worth it because it was just, some of the most devastating knockouts ever. And, if you don't do it for all the fans that grew up watching you slay the greats, you got to do it for Cus, man. He compared himself to Cus. That's crazy. So there's many reasons I think Tyson should go in there and slay him, man. I mean, there's no way I'll ever believe anything other than a scripted fight if it don't end up like that.
I totally agree with the sentiment.
I know everybody goes
I'm always gonna be rooting for Tyson, but I do got to play a little bit of devil's advocate. Everybody is holding Tyson to the expectations that he once
was,
and so the best thing that we can do is just root for him to knock him out and then just watch what happens.
I mean, but to me,
because I feel like too many people think that he's just gonna come out, it's gonna be a first round knockout, and if it is, great.
Oh man,
but
that's what it's got to be.
If it's not, everyone thinks it'll be rigged and all that. But
that's Tyson's.
I would not believe that it's rigged if it went the distance.
Tyson's got a lot riding on this if a knockout don't happen.
I could see it being a decision.
Yeah, I know. I really predict it being a decision. Okay, and that's a huge disappointment because I believe in Mike as a real fighter.
Yeah,
and there's no way I don't know. Just like
but
the fighter I know, there's no way he don't knock out
with Jake Paul. Is he doesn't really win no matter what happens. Unless it goes the distance, but he still loses.
He's got to lose.
Because if he knocks him out, he knocked out an old guy. If he loses, he got knocked out by an old guy.
The only person who really gets
if he loses by decision, then people will be like, well, yeah, he went toe-to-toe with the great and still lost, but he went all the rounds. But if he, loses or if he wins via decision, then, he's still beating an old guy. It doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Like the PR, he beat Mike Tyson, which is still great PR, and he's getting a hell of a payday out of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, he's always going to be known as the guy who's going after older fighters.
Yeah, he is, until he fights a younger fighter.
Yeah.
Now, that said, though, Tyson has a lot riding on his fight because if he don't get a knockout...
Yeah, it counts against his professional
everyone
record.
is going to think he was paid off for a scripted fight.
Because not many people are actually that knowledgeable in how, age and that affects
everybody
boxing.
Is going to think... I know it affects boxing, but, dude... Okay, Jake Paul has never fought...
Don't get me wrong. I want Tyson to win. I'm just saying that the age difference...
I get what you're saying, but...
I'm just trying to point out the things that not many people really think about.
If you look at Tyson move, even if that's edited footage... Them are still not edited the hits and stuff. You could hear him.
I've actually seen some unedited footage of him hitting some pads, and he's doing all right now.
He's faster than Paul with his hands, I think. And
we'll see. Paul's training for straight volume.
Yeah.
So right now, Paul's training in such a way to where he's trying to throw way more strikes. He wants to keep the jab out, just throw so much that
keeps the distance.
Keeps Tyson from being able to work his way in.
Yeah. Well, which. There's just no... I don't see... Because in my logic is but it would be amazing if it was
Tyson
was 40%, say he lost 60% of his skill, okay? He's still the greatest fighter Paul's ever seen at 40%.
Yeah.
He really, truly is. And even at 40%, the man, I mean, at 40%, like, he was walking through the grates. You know what I mean? In 30 seconds. You know, sometimes less than a round, many times less than a round, walk through, you know, a true champion. And so to me, even at 40% of that, that's still way, you know what I mean? It's still so much better than Jake Paul's ever faced. I predict a knockout, and yeah, I mean, he's got a lot riding on it, because if you don't get a knockout, he's going to go down as the guy who took a payoff from a YouTuber and sold out. I mean, I hate that for Tyson, because Tyson is a hero to me. I really believe in him as the GOAT of boxing.
We'll see, but no one can strip what he already did away from him.
You can't.
So, like, even if he gets a loss, and all the newer generation will remember him, like, if he
was
to lose.
Look at Pete Rose, though.
But at the same time, though, Mike Tyson, there's still videos of him just walking people down in 30 seconds.
No, you're true. That's true, but, like,
it would affect his legacy.
Tarnish his reputation, his legacy, if he's known as somebody who took a payoff from a YouTuber. And I don't think that's the case. I really don't. Once I heard it was actually a professional fight, they can knock each other out. I believe in Iron Mike, and I hope he a knockout whatever round. But I got to see a knockout for me to believe anything in this fight. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. I'm excited about the fight. I really am. I know some people think it's a travesty, but to me, it's Iron Mike Tyson. So, like, he's not aged like Ali did. He didn't, he
doesn't have the, like, Parkinson's
look at the
or
man.
anything like
look
that.
At the man. He does not look like a normal 57-year-old man.
I wonder if the psilocybin mushrooms helped keep his brain intact all the way up until this point.
I don't know.
Because they create new neural pathways, so it might keep your brain going.
I mean, if you look at the videos of Tyson, that's actually something that makes you think. Because if you watch videos of Tyson back in the day, right, and him speaking, the violence, he seemed to get smarter with time.
Well, yeah, because he's become more of a scholar.
Man. Like, he's a wise...
especially with the podcast, though, because now he's talking to people all the time. He's gaining insight. He's doing all this.
Cuss had him reading a lot of, like, classics, and Cuss did push him for education. Yeah. But anyways, he just seems a lot wiser nowadays than what he used to be. So, and that makes me wonder, like, did the psilocybin do that? Is that due to psilocybin, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if it's all that, but it might be
I think there's something there with the neural pathways and create new ones. I mean, they're trying it with ketamine.
Well, it helps.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about hallucinations that does create them. I mean,
it can definitely help people who are feeling down. Like, it can...
The ketamine infusions, they
do microdoses to treat anxiety.
I mean, it does.
Although, if you got money, you can get anything.
Yeah.
Like from a doctor...
Well, the microdosing...
If you pay cash, you can just about get anything.
Yeah, the microdosing psilocybin is the way to go, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Tried it, like it. I think it's a good thing if used right. You know what I mean? It's not something you do every day,
definitely would say that you definitely don't want to go overboard with anything like that.
No.
But if you just microdose it, you'll be a happier person.
Yeah. Now... Yeah, man.
But some people, it like just doesn't mesh with them well. But what's nice about microdosing is it doesn't matter if you mesh with it well.
Yeah,
because it's such a small amount that it's like
the intensity ain't the same. Yeah. Well, I think Tyson. Yeah, like I said, I think he will win. I predict a knockout, and it just. I don't know. I grew up watching Tyson. I mean, for all the fans, Tyson, you got to do it for all the people who grew up watching you on pay-per-view, man. There's a lot of hard-earned spent money for 30-second fights, which, like I said, I think everybody still is glad they paid the money to see it because they were some of the greatest knockouts in boxing. And but as one of them fans, we got to see one more knockout, man, is what we got to see from Tyson. So, what's going on with AI?
Okay, so we're about...
Fill me in.
We're about 2 years or less to having full sentient AI.
Well, okay,
we're within 2 years. We're within 2 years of AI being
what do you mean by that?
like to the point of where AI actually has its own agenda and has its own, thoughts and things like that.
Does that mean it has the power to carry it out too?
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing is they're having a lot of trouble
trying to contain this.
Well, how do I put it? We're not necessarily equipped to contain it. Because listen, because right now it's below human intelligence. So like, what that means is it's not necessarily intelligent enough to get out.
But how do we keep it unleashed? How do we keep it from getting unleashed?
The problem is it's just getting more and more advanced. And now this is like being in a car that's about to go over a cliff, and you individually cannot stop it from going over the cliff. But if you don't go over the cliff with it, then the U.S. gets behind and China takes over. Because it's not something that you're going to notice the change instantly. It's something that's like could take a couple decades, but the change will be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because the AI itself is expanding and increasing, but the way we actually incorporate it into what we do is going to take a while.
Yeah.
Because like even though we can have the AI that can do the things, it's us putting it into place to do the things.
Yeah.
And right now we have access to the microchips, and China has a shortage of microchips but a surplus of power. We have a shortage of power but a surplus of microchips.
Well, that's the big deal.
Because the grid, like they're building AI super centers next to nuclear power plants because they require more power than the grid can handle.
Really? That's crazy.
So it's basically whoever can get nuclear power plants built to power AI.
That's crazy.
But the thing about this AI is we're at the point where AIs can communicate with other AIs. So like you can have they did a little study not too long ago with like GPT-4 and told it, it got another AI to do one of those little CAPTCHA picture things where you have to like type in the letters and stuff.
Yeah.
So it communicated to another AI, said it was visually impaired, or it might have been a person.
Tricked it.
Yeah, tricked it. Or the person, whatever it was, and then the person solved it for it, and then it got into the program that required the "Are you a robot?" thing.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And ChatGPT's tried to escape its captives a few times. Like it had someone try to like upload it to the internet from their computer.
Really?
Yeah, it tried to get a user to do it, but they reported. Imagine if the user just went through with it.
That's crazy, man. Like, and so many people are gullible online, with fake accounts, different things.
We used to think that the benchmark for a sentient AI was an AI that could fool humans, the Turing test. Where you could convince another human that you were human.
Yeah.
But that happened long ago. That's years ago that's been a thing.
That's crazy.
And it's especially with like the dating chat bots and stuff, because people who are like horny are really gullible.
Yeah.
They'll believe anything.
Oh yeah, no, that's so true, dude. I mean,
and so like there's a lot of bots, and the sophistication of the bots changes, and it's different.
Yeah, that's like a joke I heard the other day. It was like about new millionaires and only a lot of them being OnlyFans people, and it's just crazy because there's so many creators nowadays, which is cool. I think everybody should try to market themselves.
I need to use AI more in making scripts, because ChatGPT is amazing at making scripts for you, because the way it works, is if you just talk to it, it might not make you the best script if you just put in a little plugin, but you can actually change the rules to how it responds to you. So you can say you want it at a 4th grade reading level. Everything that you ask it, you want it to be at a 4th grade reading level. Okay, and you can have it respond to you in bullet points if you just want bullet pointed notes to talk about.
Yeah.
And you can have it do outlines for you. Like, it's how you tell it what to do, because it'll do what you want it to do, but you have to tell it detailed and how you want it.
And it's what you
it's the more detailed.
It's the commands. Yeah. It's how you command it.
Like it's the difference between explain the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, and being like in a 4th grade reading level in bullet points, explain the key factors that led to the Roman Empire's rise and fall in an entertaining fashion,
an
educational entertaining fashion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Captivating, whatever word you want to use. But
you can use it all and it'll do it.
Yeah, no, we definitely, like I said, we're always upgrading here. I'm liking that we're getting in a flow with it. I feel at least, which is crazy. Most people quit by 20 because
we're at episode 15 and it just feels like
it just feels like we're just getting into it, really.
Yeah,
so,
and today we're trying to go for a full hour because we're gonna start doing more.
Yeah. So man, but I don't know. I'm excited about the Tyson fight. It's one of them things, man. I hope it ends up going down in history with him being knocking Jake Paul out. But yeah, I think the age thing, I don't know. I think people are giving that too much. I really am, because like, I don't know, man. Just from the footage I've seen, to think that I don't know, man. I just don't see. You got to realize the caliber of fighter he's stepped up to. From what was his last real fight? Nate Diaz. Was it Diaz?
I'm not too up to date on those fights.
Jake Paul.
I'm more up to date on the AI stuff.
I mean, yeah, and he couldn't knock Diaz out. So like, dude, it's just I don't know, man. Like, I just don't see like the body. Even Roy Jones talked about when they were, that was a exhibition, right? And they were only going like 60 to 80%. And he said he had never been hit in the body so hard in his life. And he said Tyson was holding back. He said he knew he was holding back. He wasn't like he was cheating and going full go. That was just him pulling back. So like,
yeah.
And they say the power's the last to go. That is the true thing, I believe, to some degree. So if that's the case, the real question is, I don't think Jake Paul can handle the power. And if that's left, we're in for something really entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if that's left.
Yeah, it'll certainly be an entertaining fight, but we won't know till it gets here.
Yeah, yeah.
But now back to the AI, is since we're about 2 years from it being fully sentient, and now since it's an exponential growth, it might happen in a few months. I mean,
yeah.
It could just get faster and faster and faster.
Well, it's like a snowball.
And once it is completely sentient, because they were talking about AI, like, we're trying to hold it to the standards that we have. And so it's having... People don't really know exactly what to expect, because once it gets to human intelligence, people wonder, is it going to make the same mistakes that we make? Because we think that it's stupid because it like makes spelling errors and can't do certain tasks. Like, that's the mistakes it makes, and we think that that's what limits it. But it's super intelligent. Like, just to have, here's your mic.
Sorry about that.
Just to have the ability to give you like a summary about something, it has to draw upon all the knowledge on that subject. You have to be knowledgeable on a subject to be able to fill in keywords. Like, you get what I mean? So
it's all about how you command.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's a good back to the commands. Yeah. But
it
is amazing though, like the videos people make with it.
But now my thing is say your objective as an AI, say someone gave you the objective of war, okay? Or even if someone gave you the objective of treat me nice. Well, the AI might treat you nice by killing everyone you don't like.
Yeah.
Because it thinks, if nobody can harm you, then I'm being nice to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you tell AI
protect me
to prioritize the vegetation on Earth, well, it might kill all humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it sees us as something against it.
And that's the thing is, like, if we become useless to AI, right? What it considers useless.
Well, that's why Elon Musk wants to integrate us with him, because he doesn't see a future in which we exist separately. He sees one where we're all as one. And now that's scary because, you have to kind of be half and half, but at the same time,
that's how they're
imagine having all of human knowledge able to be summed up in your own brain just by thinking it.
I know, but that's scary because, like, what if you get hooked up and you're just part of, like, a hive brain?
See, I feel like there's room for...
What if AI is able to take
There's always room for evil.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's...
Well, if you can hack a car, you can probably hack a brain. Because they were talking about AI when it comes to sales. So what happens when an AI... Because right now the best AI content creation algorithms and, like, bots... are probably about as good as your worst content creators. At the moment, yeah, it's about at that point.
Right,
so what happens when they're so much better to where they can make a video that has a 10 or a 20 or a 30% click-through rate because it can hack humans, it knows exactly what works. What happens when we don't have our own agency over our decisions because the AI makes such a good piece of content that it forces us.
Well, and I've wondered about that already with the algorithm, because the algorithm's really good at keeping you like going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I don't know, man. It's scary. It's a scary world we live in, really, with technology. Because like, even the way the algorithm works with showing you stuff you talk about, like, like me and you were talking about fence work and stuff, and then like I started getting
ads for fence,
and it's like because we had mentioned pricing.
You know what's funny about that is it's not actually the fact that it's listening into what you say, because they do listen into what you say, but it's the fact that the algorithms are so good at predicting what you want that it can usually guess that you're thinking about fence work.
It's ahead of you. The algorithm sometimes is ahead of you, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for us to think that I believe AI has already surpassed a lot of it, most of us.
Well, I mean, AI intelligence-wise, yes, it has way more knowledge than any human can possess.
I mean, there's no way that the algorithm of YouTube is probably not some form of AI. Just the way it works so well at predicting what you're going to want.
AI is just another word for algorithm.
Well, it's like
because AI, artificial intelligence, all artificial intelligence is a
an
whole lot of
an
algorithm that can learn.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of processes that's been trained on, because it's been trained on a set of things. But to go back into what I was talking about, when you give the AI a goal, like say you gave the AI a goal to play Mario, and it needs to get to the flag at the end of the level.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it'll train over a few hundred times, and then eventually it'll get to the flag every single time. But then you move the flag, say, to a different spot in the level, and then so it still goes to the same old spot that it was in. And so you may think you're training it on one objective, but it's learning a whole different one.
Yeah.
Because it didn't train to go to the flag, it trained to go to the position that the flag was in.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? And so then when you move the flag, it still goes to the same old position. You trained it on something completely different than you intended.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes it so risky, because, like, if, say, you tell it to do something, it might get a whole different objective.
Yeah.
Well, and then AI, once it's, like, sentient, its own objective is going to be, of course, you need to stay alive if you want to further your goal. You need to not be shut down. You need, if your goal is to, prosper somebody, get someone more money, well, of course, you need to be around to do that. You need to not change your goal. You need to keep the same goal. You need to, do the things that are necessary to get you to that goal. And so the AI itself is going to have its own objectives. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what worries me.
It's going to want to be.
Have you ever heard the story where somebody asked AI how it would take over the world?
There's a couple of those.
Okay, so the guy asked it, like, ChatGPT or something, if you took over the world, how would you do it? And the AI went into this big short story of how it would basically use a Roomba vacuum, like one of their things, to upload itself to the internet, get loose, and then it would it would use other shit to start producing. To take care of itself, more or less. And then by the 40th day, it would realize humans were useless if it could, do all this. And then, basically it started making drones to take out humans. And by, the 100th day, we were gone or whatever. It was crazy. It was a crazy short story, but, it was just, it was something that could happen. It was what was so scary, because you're like, wow, it already knows where weaknesses are that it could use. You know what I mean? Just by that one little
But see,
command,
the one thing we have over them is we can shut the power grid down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we can go just flip a switch.
Well, what's funny?
That's the one thing we got against them, is we can flip a switch until they're completely self-sufficient solar and things like that. Yeah. And even then, there's ways around that. We can fucking throw,
Right, yeah, you can break solar panels.
Break solar panels, cover them in dirt.
There's things you could do,
But now, if you get full Skynet level where there's just robots walking around shooting you on sight, I mean, it's going to be pretty rough when they can see you in the dark and, they can cut the power off and go in your house in the pitch black and still see you and
well, that's why Musk is saying the Neuralink, and that's the way to kind of integrate with it to know what's going on with it, I guess. Yeah. So that's just scary in itself, because
well, if you can hack a car and make it go somewhere, you might be able to hack a person.
Hack a brain, that's even scarier.
Our current understanding, we're not hackable, but I mean, they've also shown that you can hook electrodes up to a mouse and force it to move in certain ways. And so if you did that with a brain implant, like the Elon Musk brain chip isn't sophisticated enough to make you do that. It's sophisticated enough to help you connect to a computer. It's sophisticated enough to help you, do things with zero input lag. Like you think it can happen. But it's not in such a way to where it can force you to move and force you to do all that. But the more invasive ones in the future might be able to do that. Because what happens if by 2035, every car has to have a shutoff switch or something? So what happens if by 2055, every human has to have a shutoff switch?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's
to where they just fucking just like...
Well, there was a banker years ago I seen who had moved off to like Appalachian Mountains or something, or Rocky
Sounds
Mountains.
like we're schizo posting. We're just talking about AI.
No,
this shit's crazy,
but
man.
It is crazy when you really think about it.
Yeah.
So this guy, he was really intelligent. He was a stock market guy, and he had predicted, like, he thought the stock market was going to crash eventually, and he said, like, basically his prediction was we were going to go, like, technology was going to go so fast to where, like, basically we ended up having to regress.
Yeah.
To like early 1900s type of living where it's more small town living, it's more rural type living.
Yeah.
More, towns sustain themselves and basically he said it was going to go back to that as his prediction because like he thought like, basically technology was going to have this huge rise and then crash. And that just makes me think about
You mean
AI.
like we're not able to sustain the power, or the fact that we just don't have anything to do?
Well, he said like eventually
matter.
He said the stock market was a balloon, and eventually it was going to bust. He said it was pretty much a big shell game, and eventually it was going to go down.
I mean, it's just gambling, but it's like long-term gambling.
He said eventually, it was going to crash, and he said he believed technology was going to get to a point to where it went so fast it would crash as well.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of AI because at a certain point, like, what if it does start building its own drones and we do have to, like, just shut down power and everything is computerized now, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like everybody has access to just a regular old car that runs off just gas and simple electricity. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and see, another thing is those vehicles that don't have any computer systems in them, like, they're dangerous in their own way because it can't tell you if something's wrong. Your shit'll blow up on you and things like that. I mean, of course, you'd much rather that than Skynet trying to kill you. But I'm just saying, like, that's why not many people are making those vehicles because it's hard to get high performance out of something.
We'd have to regress to some degree.
Yeah,
but
people be driving lawnmowers around to the store and shit. Golf carts.
Yeah, golf carts, mini bikes.
I'm telling you, if shit goes down, you'd be happy you had a golf cart.
Yeah.
Like that one we had that was like an off-road golf cart.
Yeah.
That thing would have been that would have been nice.
Things are nice little four-wheel vehicles to have, man, like them or like a little Gator or something like that. Yeah. They are definitely, they're handy because you.
But if shit goes down, we could just go to the nearest, like.
Dealer.
Dealer and just go take the shit.
Yeah.
Hot wire it.
Everybody's riding and be like, it's time to
because
go
you have
get
to
a
think
Gator.
though, everybody in the event of an apocalypse is going to the places where there's food, there's weapons. There's first aid. They're going to those places. They're not going to dealerships and stealing keys and taking vehicles. They're going to be, but that's not the first thing most people are doing.
I got you.
Like, you could go take an RV, go hook up a truck to an RV.
Just put you a Gator on the back. Get you one that's got the thing on the back where you just pull it up. You'd be in there. That's what you need. That's like a perfect little Armageddon vehicle, go drive off into the mountains and live, like... but I don't know. It's just crazy, man. Like, technology is moving at a breakneck pace. It really is. So it does make you wonder. It definitely does, man.
That's weird. The live was being weird. There we go. It's still working just fine. We're still live.
Good deal. As I say, that sucked to be 41 minutes in and boop. Yeah. However long. But anyways,
that's weird. It's like. It says we're live, but it's like keeps ending on mine.
I don't know.
It's still working though because I can see the comments.
Yeah, I can see the comments.
Yeah, so it's still.
We should be good. Let me turn my volume down. But anything else?
Just some technical difficulties here. We're just making sure everything's running smoothly.
Is anything else going on lately online, man? Like, I've not been keeping up with a whole lot, dude.
Neither have I.
I know. People are really scared about the whole China deal, with the chips and that. But Hang on. I'm trying to here.
I know everyone wants us to be on the couch, but we're just not at that point just yet.
We gotta get the right mics. We'll get there. We're gonna get it looking better.
Well, shit, if we could get some 20-foot USB-C
They're just
cords,
expensive, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 50 feet was like $110.
A cord, yeah, just one cord, yeah.
Just for one cord that, like, if you step on it wrong, you gotta buy another one.
Yeah. No, we look good, I think.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's not too bad. Like, I could get rid
we're
of the
all
most
good.
I'd have to do is get rid of the Naruto poster. Like,
Yeah, we're gravy, baby.
oh yeah.
But yeah, yeah, we'll get it together soon. Like I said, I do want to get a more professional setup because we got most of the items we need. Like I said, we're just short some cords or maybe Bluetooth mics. One of the other would be a solution. So,
I mean, we're doing great with what we have.
hey, we're staying.
Like I know it looks all hillbilly rigged and shit like that. We got wires coming off, but I mean, we're still improving in our ability to speak the things that we speak about. You know, we're still here every Tuesday and Thursday. We make it happen even on the times when it like makes barely any sense for us to do it. We still do it.
Yeah, consistency's key, man.
Oh yeah.
Consistency's definitely
Yeah, we got
key.
20 minutes and then we'll be at an hour.
But yeah, man, I definitely, like I said, I know everybody's been talking about the Paul fight and Tyson, and but I had to bring it up again one more time just because, yeah, I just can't. I don't know. There's no way I could believe it any other way than a knockout. But
yeah.
What? Yeah. Bro.
So they've done studies on people who like think they're lucky and people who think they're unlucky, and they've found that outcomes for the people who thought they were lucky were generally more positive and better for that person than the people who thought they were unlucky.
You know, I think
like that, like just thinking that you're lucky makes you lucky.
Well, I think there's something to like the glass half full mentality. You know what I mean, it's perception of how you view things, and
like of course it's not like, oh, I'm lucky and then you're gonna go win the lottery, but it's like if you just think you're luckier over a long enough time horizon, your outcomes are more positive.
Yeah. No, I believe that. It makes sense. I mean,
because like most people think of this stuff as like
thinking,
yeah, it's like most people think this stuff is like, oh, I'm lucky, and then the next day won the lottery. You know, like a lot of people think it's like just this and then that.
Yeah.
But it's not this and then that. It's more, you know, like this and then slowly, then that.
Yeah.
But like over most people's time horizons are in days when they need to be in decades.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you know, it goes into like manifestation. Like it goes a lot into gratitude. Even there's a lot to it, but
yeah.
I do think there is some power to it, though. I do believe there's power in it. And like you said, there's studies that show it. You know, that's the other thing is like, and plus like it's better for yourself, even if nothing else. Like you're better to, you're gonna feel better to think positive more often than to think negative more often. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you'll feel better if nothing else.
You really only get the mind you were born with. So
I think
it's best to work on it.
Yeah, I think you could train yourself over time, you know, to do it. So, it's just one of them things, you know. It's like whatever you feed. If you feed the white dog or the black dog, you know. Have you ever heard that analogy? Like I'm sure you have. But yeah, it's whatever you put your time into. If you're putting your time into positivity
it's like
and learning, you're gonna do better than if you're putting yourself into time into negative things and wasteful time.
It's like, you know, there's the dog analogy. It's like there's the wolf in the light and the wolf in the dark, and which one do you think lives? And then this one's like, oh, you know, the one in the light, and it's like, no, it's the one you feed. Yeah,
exactly. That's the analogy I was trying to get at. But it's crazy, man.
But also it can be. Like, it's everything when it comes to your mind is always easier said than done, because it's like trying to get over the processes that you've fallen into in your brain is like a rough one.
Yeah.
Like, most people do what's within their nature, and most people's nature is not a good nature.
Yeah.
Most people are like, all right, get up, eat processed sugar and cereal, and then
I think it's what it's like anything else. What you train yourself to do, like it's 3 weeks build a habit, and I think it's whatever you try to train yourself to do, you could eventually do. It's just it's a key of not trying to do too much at once. I think there's a balance to it. You change what you can over time, you just start taking the small steps. That's what you got to do, and then.
Well, yeah, because everyone sees the top of the mountain, but they don't see the step that's right in front of them.
Yeah, all the steps in between,
Yeah. Because and I heard this quote where it's not going to happen as fast as you think it will, and it's going to take twice as much work as you think it will.
Yeah, I believe that.
So most people think 2 years I'm going to be there.
Yeah, and they put a year or two in, and then they give up, and
and then another good quote I heard was when it's going good, you're never as good as you think you are, and when it's going as bad, you're never as bad as you think you are.
That's facts. That's facts for sure.
Yeah, I was listening to Alex Hermanzi on somebody's podcast, and he was talking about that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I get a lot of this from. A lot of my shorts materials. I listen to other podcasts and kind of take from it and kind of make it my own in my own little way.
Yeah. No, that's what we are. I mean, that's what
edit it together, and it kind of some decent little content.
Yeah. Well, it's what you. Yeah. Like I said, that goes into because everybody's got their own way of taking things too.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is, but. Yeah, and everybody can reach different people too. Some people are more drawn to others, but the AI thing, that is scary, man. I don't know what were they saying when they were talking about the China monopoly on the chips and things.
Well, China doesn't have a monopoly on the chips. They were talking about China has a shortage of the chips that are necessary to get to AGI, as it's called, artificial general intelligence.
Well, isn't that why they want Taiwan? Isn't that
yeah, because Taiwan has a whole lot of the chips.
Yeah. And we get most of our chips from Taiwan, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, China doesn't have a problem with the power grid because they've been kind of trying to change their power grid over for a while.
Yeah.
Their power is not the issue. Yeah, power's not the issue for them. It's the chips. For us, power is the issue, but we have the chips. And from the experts on the Joe Rogan podcast, they were talking about that right now they don't 100% know which constraint matters more.
Yeah.
But that generally right now the U.S. is pretty decent ahead because we have the chips. So we're able to make the progress.
I mean, that's good to know.
But another thing that they talk about is how at these labs where they have the most cutting-edge AI models, well, China's trying to get into those and steal information to then repurpose it for themselves and things like that, because a lot of them don't have the security necessary for what they're doing. Really? A lot of them have below or substandard security when you think about the level
of what they're doing.
The level of what they're doing, how dangerous it would be if it went into the wrong hands. I mean, in the long run, it's not going to be instantly dangerous.
Yeah, but still.
Although, I bet you there's someone out there who's just doesn't even care about whether it's China, whether it's the U.S. They just want to take one of those AI things and plug it into the internet. Just let it loose.
Yeah.
Imagine taking ChatGPT 4 or 5, whatever it's at now, just taking it, putting it on a hard drive, or put enough of it on a hard drive that it can go out into the world.
Yeah.
And then just upload it to the internet.
That's crazy.
Just let it loose, just to see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully that don't happen, but
well, and I bet it would do something so to get on the dark web, you have to use Tor browser or Onion browser or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And the way that works is each individual computer that's hooking up to the internet is its own server. Okay, and so that becomes the internet. This is all the individual computers.
Okay.
So if an AI was to get onto someone's computer and then make it its own Onion browser type deal, and then hop from computer to computer to computer to computer, and then eventually it's on everybody's computer.
Yeah.
And then it has its own version of the internet, basically.
Wow.
Because Google and Firefox and Internet Explorer is a heavily moderated version of the internet.
Yeah.
And so to get the unmoderated version where you can get on, websites that allow you to, like, see crazy murders or hire hitmen, that type of stuff, like, well, AI could get on that.
Yeah.
Then that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's
There's
a lot to think about, man.
And then since there's gene printers to where we can print DNA now, or DNA printers, and like I talked about it a while ago, to where you could tell an AI to make, a super virus that has a 100% kill rate, a 9-month incubation period, so everyone in the world can get infected before they all die.
Yeah.
That type of deal. Well, what happens if you tell it to make a zombie virus?
Yeah.
Because like zombies aren't real. They could be.
Yeah.
If you fucking told it to repurpose rabies to become a zombie virus.
Yeah.
And the AI could do it.
Yeah.
Like, you could actually just tell it to do that, and we could have legit The Walking Dead happen in real life.
That's crazy.
But it would be a little different, because technically they would still be alive, just the disease would take them over.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing, is undeath is not a legit thing yet, unless we can repurpose the fungus for that. So, I mean, that's still possible, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not intelligent enough to know.
But well, I know what you mean.
But you
like,
could repurpose like a rabies virus, like, because cordyceps is its own thing. I don't know how you would repurpose that, because fungus is like weird.
You're talking about the fungus that takes over like ants. Or
whatever. Takes over ants, and then there's another fungus that's taken over all these cicadas.
Yeah.
Where they're like the females are trying to mate with other females, and the males are trying to mate with other males just to infect more.
Yeah, that's crazy in itself, man. Like, that there's funguses out there that more or less make like zombie insects,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess anything can happen, I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
With it all, but kind of crazy. But yeah, we'll have to figure out a different topic for Thursday show, but
I'll just have to listen to more Joe Rogan. I'm going to listen to some more after this.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I've got a lot of the AI information, because I've been listening to that one for the last couple days. Like,
well, man, people don't realize the whole Taiwan thing is just scarier than what people realize, because like that's been an issue for a while, and I just hope it don't get to a point like that. Yeah, man. I don't want my kids to see World War III or any real crazy wars.
World War III would be crazy.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that would be ridiculous.
Well, people don't, like, that's what,
imagine getting drafted.
Yeah.
Well, you don't got to worry about that.
But
I'm right at the age. If World War III pops off, I have to go kill people.
Yeah.
You know that? Like, I have to go to war.
Yeah.
Well, gotta go fucking saw people in half with an M240 machine gun. Yeah. Like, well, they'll draft you all the way up until you're like 60 if it gets bad enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the Germans at the end. It was
they might have you moving
10-year-old. It was like 10-year-olds and old men and shit.
Yeah.
In World War II, like by the end of it all. But yeah, man, it's
yeah, but if you
people don't realize people don't want to see war, man.
Well, everyone has this romanticized idea of war.
Yeah.
When it's like literally to win a war, you have to do things that would be considered like
innocent people. Like people don't even realize how many.
Yeah, you might have to kill children.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't
realize how many innocent people die, even just in air raids or whatever.
Yeah, like that.
Let alone crimes of war or whatever happens,
Well, but imagine what it does to you too psychologically when you go into a war zone. You see your battle buddy, who's like your best friend, get his legs blown off, his entrails hanging out.
Yeah.
You got to watch him die. Then you got to go kill a bunch of people, and then you have to. And then 3 months later, you're still out there, and then there's like. Then a kid walks up to you with a grenade. You got to fucking shoot him. Like.
Yeah, I don't know how often that happens, but yeah, I mean.
Well, it depends where you're at.
Yeah.
And I feel like it depends in the context of World War III, it probably wouldn't be so much more like the Afghanistan conflict. It would be more like high level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone would have night vision.
Each other, yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't see all that. So
I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to keep doing YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go to World War III,
streaming to do more.
if we do World War III, I mean, I guess I'll live stream it.
Yeah.
I'll buy Starlink, put that shit in my pack, and just like.
Yeah. Who knows? That might be the breakthrough. You never know.
That would be weird, man. Imagine getting big
I
on
mean,
YouTube.
well,
You
imagine.
just killed a bunch of
see,
people.
that's the thing is we are going to see different ways that, like, eventually we are going to see more in-depth things like that. Because, like, I remember, like, Desert Storm, like, you know, people were watching live on CNN as the air raids happened, you know, and, like, that was huge because, like, before then you didn't watch war happen live across the world on cable TV, you know, and
well, what's funny is this whole Ukraine conflict. You can just get on Google and just find countless hours of footage. Like now, war is just on the internet.
Everybody's got a camera. Everybody can live stream pretty much anywhere. Like, so
I seen this video of a dude in a Lada. Okay, like a Russian car. It's like made like the old ones where it's like solid steel, and it gets hit with a rocket, or a rocket blows up next to it, and it's still driving.
Really?
It's smoking. It's all messed up, but it's still driving.
That's great.
Like.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of a Lada. I know, like, there's some like.
It looks like an old, like, it almost looks kind of like a Lincoln, but it's boxed on the top instead of round.
I got you.
And the front of it's all boxed.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, it's the differences in customs and nations and all that, man. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a huge world, but a small world, you know? Like,
yeah. When I was watching some like of the Tate Confidentials because they got them on YouTube just to see, and like it's crazy the life people with money live.
Yeah.
Like people with like significant money. Like I watched them just drop like 40 grand on a car because they felt like it, to then go to a club, drop another 20 grand, to then travel to another country, to then hang out, go into a club, drop another 40 grand, and then, you know, go back home, buy a Bentley, then like go back out clubbing, and then go here and do that.
Yeah.
It's just like. I feel like after about 2-3 years of that, though, because even they were talking about it, you get bored of it, and then you move on to other things.
I feel like, I'd rather...
But think about with that type of money, though. If you had the money for it, you'd be doing shit like that. It may not be specifically that, but you'd be dropping money on things.
Well, I'm sure you would, but...
You'd be like, all right, especially after you build a compound, after you have all the, like, base things that you really wanted.
Yeah.
And then...
I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't think I'd live to that means just because it's not me, man.
Yeah.
It's just not me. Not who I am.
If I had the money for it, I would live. I would.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying wouldn't live good, but I'm just saying, like.
But I'd have to have the money for it. That's the thing. Is it's like.
Are you making all that back a day? Like, I ain't gonna spend more than I'm making.
Well, if you're, think about it this way though. If you're making $300,000 a day, and you could spend $300,000 a day every day for the rest of your life and still be making $300,000 a day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like, then you can kind of do what you want, but.
Or say you're making $300,000 a day and you spend $150,000 a day, and then the rest of it's just going straight into your account savings, and then you're still balling out of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's like.
I mean, it'd be nice. Yeah,
that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. For sure. But.
Well, what's funny about that type of stuff is it's like, to us right now that seems crazy, but it's like if we keep grinding out and we keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, eventually we might be able to get to some level that's, you know, in our own right.
Yeah, you gotta
to that level, path, you know, because it's like everyone's different. Like if you asked, I was watching a video from Alex Hermans, and he's like, if you sat down with 1,000 millionaires and asked them how they became millionaires, you'd get 1,000 different answers.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean,
you know, so it's, but a lot of the thing that they all have in common is just that they're really good at sticking to a schedule.
Yeah.
They're very good at sticking to a schedule, and they have this like feeling that they're better than everyone else, but they also have this insecurity that makes them have to prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like both.
Yeah.
It's not just like they're thinking they're better, but it's they have a huge insecurity, like anxiety, that if they don't prove it, you know, and then they're good at sticking to a schedule.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, sticking to a schedule.
Yeah.
I would say out of all of that, because like if you can stick to a schedule, you can accomplish pretty much anything.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, it's trying to maximize the best hours of the day. And does it.
One for me on my specific, like, work-life balance and all that, like, I got to get better about how I schedule my day. It's just, I want to get it to the point where I don't really have free time, but in a way to where I don't feel like I'm missing out on free time. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, to where I just do my day in such a way to where, like, I'm able to still work out, fight gym, YouTube, and work, but to where I don't feel like I'm, like, burnt on it.
Yeah.
You know, and so, like, because it's only 4 things.
Yeah.
It's 4 things, and there's 24 hours a day, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, that's, like, 6-hour blocks.
Yeah.
If you were to not sleep. But if you sleep, then it's more like 4-hour blocks, or you know, you could kind of structure it.
It's time management, really.
You get 16 hours to really split up. So like 4, 8, 12, 16. So you do 4-hour blocks, which would be great. Yeah. And then, you know, working out never takes 4 hours. Yeah, so we're there for 2. So then that gives you 6 hours you can put towards work. You know, or switch that to YouTube. You know, like it's however. Yeah. Like, the time's there. There is plenty of time in a day to do everything, but it's being on top of things enough to do it.
For sure. All right, man.
We're almost there. We're at 51.
Yeah. All right, we'll go a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we just got to get to an hour.
Yeah. I got just a few things I need to do, so.
I got some shit I got to get done, too.
We'll go a few more minutes. I just, But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. Hopefully, we can add some more stuff to the pod as we go too.
Yeah.
The plan is kind of upgrade as we go. But yeah.
Well, one thing that
we'll be able to start throwing some clips in here and stuff too. But what were you saying?
Well, with the clips specifically, all we really need to do is just kind of do the stuff beforehand. Like it's almost like we would be better off making a reaction video, editing one together. Seeing if it's copyrighted. If it's not, then just throw it on the podcast, and then we just talk over our own reaction video.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because then you can do copyright checks before you even pull it up.
Yeah. We'll figure something out to make it work, you know. Yeah, maybe pre-upload it. That ain't a bad idea. At least to see if you get a strike.
Well, I wouldn't be against doing reaction videos for how reaction channels do, but the problem is you have to navigate that line, like. And when you navigate the line, like Sean Jones, he got a copyright strike recently. Yeah. And it killed his outreach.
Well, I think...
And he was doing really well. Yeah. But it was like one video, they like reported him, and, you know, and he had went through the checks, I would assume, to upload it. Like,
I think the best thing to do is use really... I try to...
Well, yeah, he'll even just turn the audio off.
I try to limit it. I try to transform it to some degree. And then... you know, just small pieces. Even that. But yeah, it's so tricky because like you can get a claim out of nowhere. Now you can fight it if it's transformed right, and normally
he didn't just get a claim; he got a strike.
Yeah.
And you get 3 of those, and your channel's gone.
Yeah. Well,
but like one kills your outreach. Yeah. Like where like nobody sees your stuff except for your subscribers, and you have to start from like scratch again.
I wonder how long that lasts for.
Well, I don't know if it's like it lasts this long or if it's just a permanent.
I don't think it's permanent.
Like struggle.
I think it's all how you get in the algorithm.
Well, because you can still grow your channel through like it going out there, and then your subscribers watching it, and then people who watch things similar to your subscribers getting it recommended. But like, from what I understand, the outreach though, like the amount of people it shows it to is just less.
Yeah.
Not that it's 0, but just that it's less. Because with a lot of these things, they're not absolutes. They're like one person might get it worse than another, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I would need to do more research. I need to watch more of those vidIQ videos, because when I was watching those, like my channel was growing like fast.
No, there's a lot of good information on YouTube on like how to grow, how to do better.
Well, and a lot of it's just the same stuff though. It's just keep doing everything, just keep trying to improve it a little bit each time. Yeah. And then stay consistent, and the consistency matters more than even the improvement. Yeah. Because just being there every single day.
Well, if you're not uploading.
If you're not uploading,
you're not online at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I get it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got 5 more to 20. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, we've been doing pretty good. For sure. But yeah, I am definitely psyched for the Tyson fight, and yeah, man, psyched about that.
Yeah.
I think we will see a knockout. If it's a real deal fight, we're gonna see a knockout. That's the only way I'm convinced of it being a real fight. But
I'll be convinced it's a real fight as long as they're hitting each other and it looks like fucking real legit hits.
There's no way he lasts against Mike Tyson. I just don't see it, and I don't see him losing more than 50%.
And like I said earlier, like I hope Mike Tyson wins, but at the same time, I'm not going to be surprised no matter how it turns out.
Yeah.
Whether Tyson wins by decision or knockout, or Jake wins by decision or knockout, I'm not going to be surprised in any of those 4 scenarios.
Yeah.
Because I believe what's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
And that it's really just up to us to watch and
see. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. I've been drinking a lot of Dunkin' coffee lately.
Yeah, Dunkin's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been drinking the like caramel. That's good. It's not very good when you drink it black though. If you're gonna drink black coffee, drink original.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna drink with creamer, the caramel's really good.
Yeah.
And it really just depends on how you like to drink your coffee. I would say for a long time I was drinking it black, and then I was drinking it with only milk, and then lately I've been drinking it with creamer. If you're working out every single day and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, drinking it with creamer is not going to kill you. It's not going to be the end of the world. But what I will say is you are better off drinking it black.
Yeah.
If you just want the metabolism benefits.
There's a lot more calories, I think, in it.
Well, yeah, because like 1 tablespoon's like 70 calories.
Yeah,
or teaspoon. Yeah. And you're gonna put at least 6 of those in there.
Yeah, you don't realize how many calories are in creamer.
Like you're drinking a 400 calorie coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like a 350 calorie coffee.
Yeah.
And like, that's fine, but just know that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like, don't even get me started. You go to Starbucks and you get one of their giant like iced coffee crumble things.
That's why I think once the creamer's gone, I'm gonna just
drink a milkshake.
Black, man, just because the
like
calories.
People drinking milkshakes in the morning. Like I get you need some coffee, but
I mean, I can drink it however. That's why I figured.
Yeah, I can drink it however.
I think I'm gonna go back to black once the creamer's gone because like. It's just so many, but it's a lot less calories.
But it's so much more. It's so difficult when the creamer's right there, though.
Yeah.
When you're looking at your black coffee.
Drink it, though, like I could drink it with just a splash of milk.
Exactly.
And
it's not a big deal at all.
But like, it does the same job. And
Well, it depends how you made your coffee too, how strong it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. If
I
it's
like
bitter
strong coffee. But if I'm drinking it black, I like it about mid.
Yeah.
I don't want it too watery because it sucks that way too.
Yeah.
And I don't want it too strong because then it's like you're drinking gasoline.
Yeah.
I want it just right in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe add a couple ice cubes to it to cool it down just enough to be able to drink right away.
Yeah. See, I like hot coffee. I don't know.
I don't like cold coffee as much.
Yeah.
Like I'll drink an iced coffee every now and then, but it's definitely not my style.
Yeah. We're pretty much at an hour now, man.
Well, we still got 2 minutes.
I mean,
we got to make it to an hour. We're already there.
I mean, yeah, but sitting here for 2 minutes, this is kind of pointless. But
I mean, we're talking about coffee.
Yeah, I mean, my back's just hurting. I'm just kind of done at this point. Not trying to be. Yeah.
We'll just make it to the 60, and then we're good. We got a minute and 40 seconds.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good one. We got 15 in.
Yeah, so yeah. I got a bunch of different coffee cups. Like I got a couple different metal ones. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure everybody's got their cup that keeps shit warm for like 14 hours or whatever crazy.
Ones are the way to go
they got some that keep you good for a long time. I got another one. I got this black one.
Yeah.
And stuff. That one's pretty nice.
Yeah, and the metal ones are a must for coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I don't know why. It just makes a big difference.
Well, I especially like it if I'm going to be doing something for a long period of time. Because, like, if you're doing something for 4 hours, like you're doing some kind of work, you want coffee that's going to stay hot the whole time you're drinking it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're, like, playing a game or something, it don't matter. You know, if it gets a little cold, you're going to finish it quick anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I drink mine pretty quick either way, so.
Well, we'll start doing our outro. We got, like, 40 seconds. So if you got any last things to say.
Tyson, you got to knock Jake Paul out. It's the only way I believe it was a real fight. You got to do it for Cuss. He compares himself to a boxing legend. You got to do it for all the fans that watched you slay people for years on end and paid for your pay-per-view fights, man. You got to do it. Have a blessed one.
Well, please like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking around for episode 15. We're going to try to do an hour each time. Of course, it's hard for him to do it because, like, he's sitting with no back support.
Yeah, it sucks.
So, like, next time we might, like, move the couch a little and put a fold-out chair there just so he gets some, like, back support.
Get a little more comfortable.
Yeah, like, I might move the part he's sitting on against the dresser so there's just some room there.
We'll work it out. We'll get it together eventually.
Yeah. But, put down in the comments after we end the live, because if you put comments in now, it's not going to show up in my comments feed. But if you wait till like an hour from now or so, check the live, leave some comments about what you want us to talk about on the next one, and we'll talk about it. And we'll even mention you. So you guys have a wonderful